Hello and good evening. Please kindly check if your phone is muted, is unmuted. Kindly mute it, please. Thank you. We're starting in the next 1 minute at exactly 8:30 on the dot. Thank you very much. All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, HR practitioners. It's a pleasure to have us all on this call this evening. And today is the day 2 of our professional development workshop, which is themed strategic talent management, attracting, developing, and retaining high performance people for business results. I am Olayemi Thomas, and I would be your moderator for this class this evening. And it gives me great pleasure and a privilege to be doing this. And I really must appreciate the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, the management and staff of CIHRM, and of course, I would also want to appreciate the project coordinator. That's the national project coordinator in the person of Mrs. Tessie Christopher Ikache, and of course, to welcome every one of us, even to today's lecture. Thank you all for coming on board. You are all welcome, HR practitioners. Good evening again. Like I said, once again, I am Olayemi Thomas, and I'm the moderator for the class this evening. You are all welcome. And just not to take any more time, I would very much want to introduce to us our guest lecturer tonight in the person of Mr. Ajibola Ladokun. So our facilitator, Ajibola Ladokun, is a master trainer and leadership coach, a retired deputy director and former head ITF Center for Excellence, which is into Staff Training Academy. He has worked in the private and public sector. He is a practicing learning and development consultant and fellow of the following professional bodies: Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, Pan-African Consultants Association, Institute of Management Consultants, Chartered Institute of Human Capital Development. He is a certified management consultant and safety professional license holder. Ajibola is highly sought after at conferences, retreats, workshops, etc. He will be presenting Winning with Talents from Acquisition to Retention. Ladies and gentlemen, HR practitioners, please welcome with me. I present to you our guest lecturer tonight, Mr. Ajibola Ladokun, FITD, FIMC, CMC. And so I'll be handing over straight away to our lecturer for the next 1 hour, when he will be taking us today on the topic, Winning with Talents from Acquisition to Retention. Over to you, sir. You are most welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma, for that introduction. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
We can hear you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. At the same time, you can also see my Sorry.
Your screen.
You can see what I'm also sharing. Can you see?
Yes. Very
Yes.
clearly.
Yes,
Yes,
screen
we
is
can
super.
see.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can,
Okay,
sir.
Yes.
just a moment. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. It's
Loud and clear.
all right. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to sorry. You can see, but I cannot see that you are seeing. Sorry about that. Let me just quickly readjust so that this thing is still not. Please let me just repeat this sharing, please. Just a moment. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. So my topic for tonight is winning with talents from acquisition to retention. And before I continue, let me quickly appreciate the President and Chairman of Council of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management for this invitation. I also want to appreciate the members of Council and, of course, the National Program Director, Madam Tessie, for this invitation. I appreciate the distinguished members of this great institute, and I'm happy that we are all HR practitioners one way or the other. And of course, too, I also want to appreciate the anchor for a job well done. Thank you for that great introduction. So this is the last for the year, and it's for the December 2025 workshop of Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management. I am particularly captivated by the theme of this workshop, which is strategic talent management, attracting, developing, and retaining high-performance people for business results. It's also good for me to appreciate the great work done by Dr. Kemi Abaye yesterday on managing people for results. I love her energy. I love the way she has laid a very good foundation for us to, move on today. And of course, having talents in the workplace is very, very key. The right people in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, and for us to get the right results. Because of our time, I will try as much as possible to, move in such a way that we'll be able to have enough time for the questions and the so that we can have some time for, conversation around the subject of talent management. The question is, we will try as much as possible. We're always talking about the end from the beginning. So we expect that we should be able to identify key talent acquisition channels that drive high quality hires at the end of this presentation. We should be able to apply a structured onboarding roadmap to accelerate new hire productivity. Should be able to discuss the benefits of talent management and, of course, explain why talents leave. It's one thing to acquire them, it's one thing to develop them, it's another thing to do everything to retain them, because at times they still leave. So these are areas in which we are going to have conversation. This one has been taken care of. This is who I am and all of that. Of course, let me quickly also mention that we are going to look at what a talent is or who a talent is and how do we identify a talent at work. We are going to try to define what is talent management and who are talented people. How do we develop a competency framework? Talent acquisition strategies. Challenges associated with talent acquisition. developing strategy for talent management. Then, of course, talent management strategy. And what are the benefits of having talent management system in an organization? Then, how do we reposition talent management? Then we look at how talents leave, why talents leave, the benefits of talent management, and the challenges of talent retention. And finally, we'll look at the way forward. What's the way forward for talent management? And we'll put a conclusion. So that's going to be our roadmap, the way to go tonight. And we trust that one way or the other, we'll work together and come up with something that will help everybody. If you can hear me, let somebody say good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
evening.
you.
Good evening.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Good evening, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Now, let's get started. Talent isn't just a hire and forget asset. It's a strategic lever that runs from the first touch point to long-term engagement. You cannot hire a talent and just say, I've hired you, and you forget about it. You have to nurture them. You have to do everything, communicate, work with them to ensure that at the end of the day, they will be happy working, and at the same time, they will be giving you the much required result. Now, while starting here now, I want to say that where HR is domiciled in the organization matters. There are situations in which the HR, this Chief Human Resource Officer, is under what they call a division of, under the Director of Admin. There are situations in which is under Finance. There are also situations in which is directly under the Chief Executive, that is, he reports directly to the Chief Executive, which is, to me, the best. Because when you look at it from the point of view of being put under the Director of Finance, once HR goes under that, everything's about cost. And of course, this will not help the talent along the line. Because why do we have to hire this person, or why do we have to keep this person, may be an issue as we go on. So we will have conversation around that as we move on. Then talent management is identified as a critical success factor in corporate world. Yes, talent management, it's a critical success factor. For you to succeed, you need the right people in the right places at the right time, doing the right thing and getting the right results. Then talent management focuses on differentiated performance, ABC players, influencing company performance and success. You have to identify those who influence our performance, what we do, and the results we get. So then, of course, it also focuses on identifying key positions in the organization. The position for every job, for every assignment, there is somebody that is maybe the best person to put on that position. That's very, very key. You need to consider who do you put there, who will get us the right results. And of course, you must prepare people before they are prepared for that. Prepare them to be able to fit in so that there will be seamless. Let me put it this way. A proper talent management system ensures that, we have a seamless succession. People may leave a role and you require somebody else to be on that role. So it's important that, you get people ready and prepared before anything happens. Now, survey shows that firms recognize the importance of talent management, but they sometimes lack the competence required to manage it effectively. They may not have the competence to actually manage the talent. Yes, they know that talent management is key, but they may not have what it takes, to manage it effectively. So talent management is a process which is designed to recruit, retain, develop, reward, and make people perform well. So it's not just recruiting, retaining, whatever, but you also have to develop, and you must also reward the performer, that is the talent, as it were. Now, we often hear things like people are the greatest asset of an organization. Sometimes we also hear our people, our most valued asset. And of course, we hear our people, our strength. All those boils down to the fact that people are, it shows the importance of people in the organization, but not just people, but the right people and the good people. There was a place I mentioned the fact that good people are the greatest asset, and somebody reminded me, whether good or bad, people are still an asset to their organization. Whether they are good or bad, that's for another day. So, well, it depends on how you look at it. But me, I believe that yes, we need the right people, we need the good people. Now, this brings us to the definition of talent. Who is a talent? According to McKinsey, talent is the sum of a person's abilities, his or her intrinsic gifts, skills, knowledge, experience, intelligence, judgment, attitude, character, drive, his or her ability to learn and to grow. So this talks about a definition of who a talent is. And of course, how do we identify a talent? We have several people we bring into the world of work. Of course, we sometimes say something. We say that those who are available are not suitable. Those who are suitable are not available. So what we want to ensure is availability of the right people and making them suitable for the roles they are going to play in the organization. Going forward, we also look at the issue of opportunities when you bring in a talent, you must also create opportunity. Then of course, too, we also talk about affordability, getting the talents. So that's also part of what we'll talk about, the conversation we'll have as we move on. Now, how do we now identify a talent? There are people with special ability to do a particular thing. So then, of course, people are extremely curious. They ask all the questions. They challenge the status quo. They have excellent memory. They have excellent reasoning skills, long attention span. Then they have excellent memory, excellent problem-solving skills. They are fluent and they have flexible thinking. They learn quickly and with less practice and repetition. So these are some of the ways to identify a talent. Of course, too, they have excellent sense of humor, perfectionists, enjoy learning new things, read rapidly and widely, an unusual and vivid imagination. They are skeptical, they are critical and evaluative. They ask what-if questions. Per time, they always ask, what if, what if, what if? If you say this, they say, okay, what if? And there are other things too, which makes for a talent. Then hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So it's wanting to have the talent has also to up his game and also do whatever it takes to become a better person. Now, having defined a talent, before we talk about talent management, all this talent management, I want to throw this question out. In your own thinking, from your own, level in HR, is it good to grow or build a talent or to buy? That is it good that we grow or build internally, or we buy, or that means we acquire a talent from another place? What's your take on that? Yes, can we have 2-3 people talk to us about that? Is it good? Which one do you prefer, to build or? All right.
To build.
To build or
to build your talent. To grow. It's good to build your talent and grow.
It depends on how urgent you need it.
Thank you very much.
Exactly. It depends on the context, and it depends on when you need it or why you need it. So I think it's yes. It depends on.
Thank you very much.
Why.
Thank you very much. I love that. Yes. Any other?
as occasion demand. As occasion demand.
Occasion demands. Thank you. Thank you.
There's time for everything.
I think
I love that. I love that.
There's also time to train your talent.
What I feel is talent can only be growth. You can grow talent, you can't build it. So if it is inbuilt, then you can grow it. If it's not there, then you need to sort for that talent. Only those that have talent, you can grow it.
If you build your talent internally, it's very good. And then you have your talent there. Whenever the need arises, you just pick from the pool of people you have and then use, not waiting for the need to arise before you start looking for a talent.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for your contribution. Now, let me take a second. Let me post another one. How do we manage when we categorize some people within the organization as talents? How do we manage the other people that we have within the organization? Yes, let's have that get, because we have tagged some people as special and that they are talents. Now there are other people within the organization that we don't call talents. So how do we now manage them? Yes, please go ahead. Is anyone talking?
We can manage them by training them.
Okay, training them. Yes. Well, what I mean is that how do you make them feel? If there are issues around this place, how do you make them feel when it's like that? How do you make them feel? Because others may begin to feel so somebody is special, and of course that may be demotivating to others. How do you work around that? Well, let me just mention this. Usually, anywhere you have a talent development program or talent on ground, it's also good to put a policy in place, you know, being driven by top management or the executive management to be able to manage such, because sometimes you give them some special treatments, as it were, because they are people you must do everything to manage well. So give them some special treatments. And of course, if you don't do what you're supposed to do early, others may be motivated, and that may, cause some other issues. So we would look at examples from organizations as we move on. Now, all right, thank you so much for your contribution. Let's move on to what is talent management. This is organizations' efforts to attract, select, develop, and retain key talented employees in key strategic positions. So for every position, you must look at who the fit for that position. Every position or job needs the right talent or people. So you have to watch that. Then, of course, the purpose is to ensure that the right supply of talented workforce is ready to realize the strategic goals of the organization, both today and in the future. So you plan with the future in mind. That's why you must manage them very well. Sometimes they call them talent development forum, talent forum. Sometimes they call them talent development programs in organizations. Now, talent management includes a series of integrated systems of recruiting. Then, of course, it also talks about performance management. You must recruit and also work towards managing their performance, one way or the other. Maximizing employee potential, managing their strengths, and retaining people with desired skills and aptitude. All right, who are talented people? These are people that regularly demonstrate exceptional ability and achievement over a range of activities. They are people that they have transferable high competence, and they are high impact people who can deal with what? Complexity. Regardless of where you are on the talent scale, you can attain great success, even beyond those far above you. What determines your level of accomplishment is the depth of your desire and the strength of your belief. So let's consider that. Now, the first thing to do is to develop a competency framework. What do you mean by a competency framework? That's is a structured map that spells out the skills, knowledge, and behaviors needed for success in a role. So you have a role, then you now look at, okay, what are the skills required for this particular role or across an organization? So we have core competence, we have functional technical competence, we have proficiency level. So for every role, you know, you look at it from the level of, core competencies that are required for it. Then you look at functional technical competencies that are required, then proficiency levels. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending. What's the level of that person? What do you need? What's the gap to move to use to move that person to the next level? So you pick the scope, decide whether it's for the whole organization, function, or role. Then, of course, you also look at, you know, whether you have the expertise of the people. So you might have a full job description, performance and the existing competency list that you have. Then you also list core and functional competencies, whether the person has digital fluency, collaboration, creativity, and what have you. Then you define the proficiency levels, like we have said before, developing from the start to becoming expert. How many layers do we have? You know, from different levels, so that you know if the person is on 3 and you are going down the 5th layer to become an expert is 5. So you now know that the gap between that 3 and 5 is what you are going to fill, maybe through development. Then evaluate and tweak, run a few pilots with a few teams, collect feedback and refine the language. Then integrate, hook the model into hiring, onboarding, development, and performance reviews. We start the talent program from, you know, developing a competency framework or model that will be used. So this can serve as a guide. Now, talent acquisition strategies. How do we acquire the talents? Today, through branding, if you know, there are organizations people run to that they want to belong, they want to be part of, because it has become a brand. Then we also make use of the social media. Today, that's also very common. Then we also use employee referrals. There are organizations in which people within will decide. They can, because somebody is a good staff or whatever, they can put it out that, okay, if you have somebody, this is the role. If you have somebody that can fit into that role, let's see, whatever. Then, of course, data analytics also play a good role there. Then lead compensations and benefits. That's key. Then recruitment technology. So many things are coming in now. Now, we have also tried to also explain this here. Key talent acquisition channels that delivers high quality hires. Employee referrals. Some of your friends are like, oh, we have somebody somewhere and all of that. So then, which based on, you look at that person's, the person that is referring the person to you, you look at, you know, the person's pedigree and what have you. Then you look at the LinkedIn and professional social networks are also of value. Yeah. Then specialized job boards and niche platforms, gift up jobs for tech and what have you. We also have different ones. We have GG jobs. We have so many areas in which, you know, people can acquire the right. We also have Hot Nigerian jobs, different ones coming. Then, of course, we can also use internal talent mobility when we have the talent development program in place within the organization internally. We can also make use of that. Then we also use recruitment marketing and employer branding. That's another one. Then, of course, there is something that we call target selection. This is, you know, a specialized one. I have been part of this before. I did what in target selection. What happens is that the organization sends out that they are requesting for a particular role. The request for role, and they advertise. When after people have shown interest, let's say about 50 people said, okay, we're interested in this role. So they send it straight to, what do you call it now? They send it straight to a consultant, maybe, let me just give an example. They can send it to Philips Consulting. They can send it to PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and all of that, KPMG, to look at. So when they look at it, they will look at all the CVs, all these things, check their resume and all that. And at the end of the day, they just pick one. You know, they will pick 1, 2, 3, maybe according to them. They now send it back to the organization. So the organization will just request, is like picking just one person and, you know, finding, you know, asking the person, okay, based on your this is this, then try to have a chat with the person or conversation around it, interview, then that's it. So they are not bringing all the people that have applied for the role. They are depending on the consultant or consulting firm to the verdict of the consultant or the consulting firm to do whatever they are going to do. So that's it. Now, any questions so far, so that before we move on? Any question?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir. Yeah. Good evening. Thank you, sir. My question is.
Go ahead. You said your question is, sorry. Otherwise, you can.
It could be network. It could be network. Just
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Okay. So later on, when it comes up, we'll all right.
I have
somebody,
question,
I don't know who is marking on the screen. I don't know how this happened. It happened yesterday too. I don't know what happened.
I have a question, sir. I don't know if I can go ahead and ask a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I earlier posted the question. When it comes to talent acquisition, talent development, retention, and the question I have is that how long does it take to identify a talent? Because looking at what you said to be characteristics of talents, you'll probably not be able to discover them at the point of entry, point of interview. So how many years will it take for you to know that? Okay.
Sometimes, okay, sir, thank you. Sometimes it takes 2 years. You see, organizations sometimes they go through different. I will give examples of number one. I have to move on. NMPC. They had a talent development program about 2009, 2010. I will explain that as we move on. But usually, you know, that's why I say sometimes you poach. You may poach and bring them in, then let them understand your culture, because these things work on number one, there must be a policy in place. There must be a culture that supports that. So let them come and understand your culture, then you now move on. That means that person is ready at the person's level. Are we together, sir? Are you listening, sir? Hello? Hello? All right.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
That person is
we are with you. We are with you, sir.
Thank you. When you are poaching from another organization, that means the person is ready. Do you get my point now? You know that, oh, it's a talent before bringing him in. But if it's you are developing within, that was why I asked that question initially, that is it good to buy or to build or grow within? So it depends on the situation. I agree with all of you that it depends on the situation. There are situations in which the best is just to buy for certain roles, depending on what you want and all that. Sometimes the ICT, the IT roles and what have you in organizations, when you don't have the right people or whatever, you may have to bring. So usually, if you are going to build from within, I think the list is about 2 years, you know, from the time the person comes in to identify and bring such people in. Are we together, sir?
Very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. We move on so that we can have enough time for more discussions. Now, what are the challenges associated with talent acquisition? Number one, sourcing. You know, I mentioned the issue of target selection the other time. The judgment given by organizations is the fact that anything that is coming from most of these, the big five, or the big four, that they are just great or whatever. All right, then please, can you mute yourself so that we can. All right, so sourcing. Talent acquisition, number one is sourcing, attracting the right candidates and engaging qualified candidates. There are different ball games, especially when you talk of public sector and the private sector and entrepreneurs. There are different ball games when it comes to the source of the issue of talents and what have you. So now you want the source matters. Then of course, after doing that, you do some background screening or checks or whatever. The recruitment process outsourcing, because sometimes you give it to others to do for you, whichever one. Then of course, we also use video in talent acquisition, getting to know, show us what you are doing there and what have you. Then creating an efficient recruiting process and recruiting fairly, because that's another thing in this age of man, no man, and what have you. So this is also very, very key. People may be brought in as talent, and it's when they come in that you find out that you didn't actually bring in a talent. You actually brought in somebody because of some person's interest, one way or the other. So then, of course, building a talent pool. So let's look at what that is. Building a talent pool. A talent pool is a curated database of candidates who have the skills, experience, or potential to fill future roles. It's a pipeline that helps you engage passive talent, speed up hiring, and keep quality hires flowing. So sometimes, somebody will not have the job. Let me give you my example. In 1994, I was working, and of course, most of us knew about they call it Loyola Jesuit College. Loyola Jesuit College in Abuja. No, it's not in Abuja, it's in the outskirts. Idamangoro was, towards Nasarawa State, around Nasarawa State, but it's very close to after Mararaba. So I was invited. That was actually target selection. I was invited, and of course, I think when they advertised and they said it's an international community, it's an American school. So I applied to teach introductory technology then because of my background. So and of course, I was the only one that went for the interview there in Gidamangoro, their current school. However, when I got there, I was interviewed by three different people in three different offices. So the first person, I spent about 45 minutes. Second person, I spent about another 40 minutes. Third person, in different rooms. So the three of them now met, and they said, okay, I've been able to meet their need and what have that. I was the only one invited from over 700 and something people that asked for the position. That was when I think they started in 1995, but that was 1994. And they asked so many questions. Now they told me that, yes, I should give them within 1 week. They are ready to pay my former employers and what have you. Then, of course, they will also bring me in. And but they will require at least within 2 weeks I must join them. However, they told me that they have a Jesuit brother in the US who they are planning to bring. If he says no, I have the job. But if he says yes, sorry, but they will put me in a pool. At any time they are, trying to add more teachers to the school and all of that. And of course, the pay everything was very, very good, very, very fantastic. So I was so happy, and they said they were calling me every day until Friday. I left on a Friday, said by next week Friday in the morning, we'll let you have a final say, but we'll call you every day to find out, to ask about you. So Monday, they called me, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and of course on Friday morning, said, sorry, last night, the guy who said he was not coming before from the US, who is part of they call themselves Jesuit Brothers, was coming. So I'm just want you to understand two things: the target selection, and of course to also know that sometimes they put you in a pool, and even after that discussion, they were still getting in touch with me to find out how are you faring and all that. We still have you in our pool, and anytime, anything can happen. So this is very, very important. Now, what are the solutions to challenges associated with talent acquisition? Number one is to identify the right recruitment strategies to attract and employ top talent. So you must get the strategies right so that you can attract and employ top talent. And of course, you must also utilize the social media. That's also very key. And experiment with different methods of engagement. How do you engage them? Then find a compensation balance. One of the challenges of this thing is, number one, they are available, they are suitable, but is the compensation good enough to be able to? So we have to look at what the industry is paying and be sure we are able to also take care of that. Then, of course, too, for talents, you must also create opportunities for them. So whatever, when organization wants the best talent, how about the issue of affordability? That's very, very key. I said earlier on that when HR is domiciled under the director of finance, for instance, it may not see the need for you to make the compensation competitive, for the person that is coming in, for the so-called talent. So of course you have to create a valuable employer brand. So who are we? So those are the issues. Those are the solutions, challenges out there with the talent acquisition. Now, this is talent management. You start from workforce planning. You plan the workforce, then that's to know the number of people you require, where the roles and everything involved. Then of course from there you acquire the talents. Then of course this brings us to the level. After getting the talents, the onboarding is also very, very key. During onboarding, we must let them know, the policies in place. We must also let them know the culture, the way you do things in your own organization. And of course, we need to constant engagement is also key for talents. Then of course, the issue of development comes up. You need to develop them, look at gaps, and now developing them is not enough from practice. When you develop them, you have to give them stretch assignments, things that they will do that will build them up for further assignments and what have you. So don't just leave them at the level of, after all, I have what do you call it? I have trained them. That's not the issue here. Don't just train them. What you also do is to also, keep a tab on them, give them opportunities to stretch and to also add to whatever they have learned. That will go a long way, in assisting them to pick one or two things. Because if you just leave them at the level of, after all, we have developed them and all that, if you don't stretch them and give them assignments, tasks, and other things that will, for them to stretch themselves, for them to practice what they have learned in the training and what have you that you have given them to them, then you are looking for trouble. Because once the opportunities are not there, they may not be ready to stay. Now, that brings us to the issue of, after development and everything, then of course, performance management. You need to constantly, manage their performance one way or the other. Then of course, with the right talents in place, that will give us seamless succession. So after that, we need to also work towards succession planning. So how do we manage succession? That's also part of what will be done by the talent manager, whoever is going to manage them, because part of what you should do is to also decide who takes care of that. So developing talents, as it were, within a business or organization or company is one of the most important tasks for top leadership. And of course, this is important activities that somebody or someone must be saddled with that responsibility of managing top talents. That's very, very important. Now.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have a question here.
Please go ahead, sir.
Whereby a talent has been sourced out for.
Yes.
And a good talent, let me use that word, good talent.
Okay.
And over the years, we know every organization has their own way of doing their politics, let me say so.
Yes.
And this talent has been disengaged for no obvious reason. What is the role of the HR to curb that particular event or incident from occurring or often occurring? Because you find out that some organizations, they lay off good hands or good talent and go back afresh to still source for talent to either replace, and which at the end of the day is creating additional expense costs and what have you. So what is the role of the HR to curb that in an organization?
Now, you see, there is this issue of communication, constant communication. At times, you see, these people are special and you must manage them well. So the role of HR is to first and foremost manage the talent in such a way that, you know, you are keeping tab on him, are you fearing and all of that. I was going to end with that at the end of the presentation, but however, since you have brought this question, you see, you have to be extremely careful. That's the language. Extremely careful how you manage talents. Talents, some people see them as what's special about them. That's why I asked that question, that how do you now manage other people? You know, I asked initially that how do you manage other people when you call some people talents? So politics come in naturally. Politics come in, and of course, constant communication with, you know, the talent will assist the HR to know that, Kai, we need to work towards this area and what have you. Because when somebody comes and you mess the person up, the next person that is coming may be given that story of this was how this good hand also left. So otherwise, there will always be people coming in and moving, and of course, that's not good for the system. So the onus is on the HR to keep a tab on each of his talents in such a way that, you know, he manages between top management and the talent. Is in between the two, and this role is to ensure that talents are given their rightful place within the organization, so that there won't be anything, you know, politics, what other thing. Yes, there will always be politics. Let's not deceive ourselves. There will always be politics, but the politics, we are even going to mention it as we move on. Sure. We have to be careful with such a thing. So that's very, very key. Thank you so much for that.
It's okay.
Now, Jack Welch, who was in General Electric, he left in 1999, 2000, and the only person that was given the Golden Coffin Award said something. When he was leaving, he had 3 people in waiting as CEO of General Electric. And what did he say? He said, my main job was developing talent in building a sustainable organization or company. So that's his main job. So you develop the talent, and you do everything to also support the talent. So one way or the other. And that was what he did in that place, and they've never forgotten till tomorrow. All right. Because he's still collecting the salary of CEO even after 25, 26 years of living General Electric. Everything that the CEO of General Electric collects, he collects it tomorrow because of the great work he did. That's why they call it the Golden Coffin Award. Now, developing strategy for talent management. We have mentioned this just for the purpose of emphasis. Developing strategy, talent attraction and recruitment, getting them in. If we look at what it takes us to first of all attract and bring them in, then we will know that we have to do the right thing in building and employing employing them. Then, of course, we have to go the extra mile also to continue to do whatever we can do to retain them. So we also look at some of the things, challenges we face in retaining some of these talents, and of course, we will work around it one way or the other. So now, talent management strategy. I'll look at just 3 strategies there. Look at the picture that that's talent management system. Now, the advantages of strategy, strategy number 1, you immediately receive top talent. So, of course, the employees will perform well and probably reach high performance faster. However, there are some disadvantages. There are some disadvantages. Number 1, it's expensive and will cost you even more if you end up needing to hire someone else. It could be more difficult to retain top talent. So if you mess up with another one, with one person, what happens with the next person that is coming? It's more difficult to retain them, of course, but you must do everything humanly possible. Now, there was an organization that I had a chat with their HR on. They were trying to bring in an IT manager, and of course, they could not afford. The issue here is affordability. They could not afford. They had a person with the capacity and capability. They have series of people who will come for interview. One even came and said what he was asking for, even the CEO of the organization doesn't earn that. So it was a very big issue. So, and they asked, he said, okay, what do I do in this situation? So I said, okay, most of the challenges you have with IT people is the fact that they go to do recertification. So if you could talk to the CEO and the management to look at the area of maybe you can pick up, the person has to do one certification in the US and one in South Africa every year. So if the person has to go for that, if you can pick up that bill and now ask him that, okay, for the purpose of your traveling to the US and all these things for this, we will pick it up. So maybe that may be it. And that was what happened. Immediately mentioned the fact that, okay, your US and you mentioned South Africa and US certification yearly. Okay, fine. We can pick up that bill, but the salary, we cannot give you salary that is beyond, what the organization can afford, and you cannot earn more than even the CEO and what have you. And the guy, stayed with them, got the job and he stayed with them. So that's why at times we in HR must be a little bit flexible and of course think outside the box, and also even think within, outside, and whatever, and see whatever we can do to retain top talents, to acquire them and also to retain them. Strategy number 2, this has a couple of advantages. You can find talent faster. This may be necessary if you are in urgent need for talent and have insufficient time to search for top employees. So you will likely save money on salaries. It means that your company may grow slower compared to top talent. This hires lack of knowledge. This can lead to what? Lower performance. Then the third one is, this code describes strategy best. Your team strength is not a function of the talent of individual members. Of course, it's a function of their collaboration, tenacity, and mutual respect. When you bring in, at times, when you bring in talents, you must see how they can work with the team. That's also another thing entirely. Then finally, the pros of combining these two above, it gives you the best of both worlds. It also allows you to take advantage of a combination of new hires and the existing talent. All the same, there is one con. If you have specific requirements, such as you are in urgent need of growth, or if you are on tight budget, sticking to a single strategy may be more appropriate. So sometimes the budget, as much as you want the best talent, the budget may not be it at all. That's the issue. You may not, the budget of the organization may not be able to, attract the best. That's another thing, because you don't have what it takes to do that. So I'm trying to see how we can move a little faster so that we can have enough time for questions. Now, the talent management process. Everything starts from planning. So you plan the workforce, you measure and evaluate what do you need and what have you. You try to understand the business strategy, because you must align your talent management strategy to the business strategy. Then the second stage is attracting through freelancers, consultants, talent acquisition, getting the right talents, considering what we call employee value proposition. What value do you plan to give to that you promise, to the employees, and what have you? Compensation, what have you? Then marketing. How do you market to get the right people on board? Then, of course, that brings, after attracting the person or whatever, the next stage is onboarding, put them through the process and what have you. Then performance appraisals and management, then learning and development, have a career pathway, then capability frameworks, also create that. Then, of course, you now come to the level of retention, create a culture that will ensure that, that there is seamless retention. Then look at your remuneration strategy. So, like the one I mentioned, the example I gave you the other time, how do you ensure, or how can you ensure that, the person continues to get, from the policy, you come up with something that will ensure that, yes, this person has come. How do we give him special remuneration or whatever that is more than what other people are also collecting? These are major issues. So that's why all of these things has to be agreed upon. It has to be a policy that will support it. Then, of course, the last aspect is transitioning. Succession planning, internal mobility, retirement, knowledge management, then exit interviews. When these talents are going, these areas are very key. You need exit interviews to find out things from them. What can you do to improve on whatever you have now? The knowledge, how can they, asset and the knowledge and all that, how can they, what can be done to ensure that such knowledge is also taken care of. So then their retirement too, what do you do for them in their retirement, what have you? Then, of course, internal mobility. How do you move people, within to ensure that there will be that people will continue to, be there one way or the other. Then, of course, we also look at talent management system. There are softwares, that addresses the 4 pillars of talent management, from recruitment to performance management, learning and development, and commercial management. So example of some of these softwares include Oracle HCM Cloud, ICIMS Talent Acquisition, Talentsoft, Zoho, Recruit, amongst others. So this one is a software that takes care of those 4 areas: recruitment, performance management, learning and development, and commercial management. Because all of these things are very, very key. They are very, very key to a robust talent management system. Now, what are the benefits of having talent management system? Benefits include to integrate and align core human resource processes. It gives room for strategic hiring process, improved onboarding process. It allows us to be able to retain top talent. Employee development is also there, then improved employee experience. And of course, increased employee and manager engagement. Please, this is very, very important. The talent and the manager, HR must always, be in tune with whatever is happening. It's very, very important, please. You must keep, having conversations around how's your work, are you keeping with, what is happening and what have you. It's very, very important. Now, repositioning talent management. We need to reposition in such a way that make talent a pillar of business strategy, not an afterthought. It has to be the pillar of our business strategy, not after, something that you talk about later. So it must support our business strategy. Then also converting business goals into what? Talent goals. We have to convert business goals into talent goals, anticipate future talent orders, and nip them in the bud. In the future, we are going to have issues in this department, in this area, on that area. Then what can we do? Now, this brings us to anticipating future talent orders and nip them in the bud. This brings us to I told you about the NMPC. NMPC, few years, about 2009, 2010, they have what they call the talent development project or program. And what did they do? They found out that the top management, the people in the top echelon in NMPC, they were within the ages of 55 and 60. So they thought, okay, with the way everything is going, few years to come, they are not likely to have, there was this serious gap, you know, in leadership and in management. So they now decided, okay, fine, let's bring in people, managerial level and all of that. So it has its own issue, which is why we have to talk about it as HR people. Number one, when they were bringing them in, they gave them good position. Somebody, the example I gave, because I had a leadership program for NMPC within that period, and most of them were complaining. And I asked them some few questions about it. The first thing was, number one, the people they brought in were, you can't be more than 40 and below, 40 years and below. So they brought them in as managers, and there are deputy managers and assistant managers that are, you know, 50 and above. So that was the issue. Somebody gave an example. He said he left university, he has a first degree, he's a member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, he's a fellow. And he has FCA, he left university 28 years back. He's been in the NMBC group for 26 years. So can you all hear me, please? All right, I need a response. Can you hear me?
Yes, now.
Yes,
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. All right, I appreciate it.
We are hearing you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mas. Thank you, Sars.
We
So
can
he
hear
said
you,
he's been in
sir.
this. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. He said he's been in the system for 20. He left university 28 years ago. He's been in the he's been in the NMPC group for 26 years. And they brought somebody who left that he has both MBA, ICANN, bachelor's degree, and all of that. And they brought somebody who has 7 years, who has been working for a consulting firm for 7 years. Left university 9 years ago, and to come and be his senior manager. And meanwhile, he is a deputy manager, and he reports to the guy. So the guy also has ACA, MBA, and a degree, but he said everything he has is senior to the man in question. And I asked him one thing, and I want all of us to learn from this as HR people. Usually such things happen because there is a gap to be filled. And of course, they took a decision on that. Now, when decisions are taken, they must dangle carrot. And that's where I'm going. They must dangle what? Carrot. And what's dangling of carrot? Okay, those of you who want to stay, this is what we have for you. Those of you who want to go, this is so fine. So they will dangle the carrot. If you are going, maybe your something is, they will say, will give you 50% of what you are supposed to go with. They will add 50% to it as your takeaway. But if you are not going, you continue your salary, no problem. But whatever your eyes see, if you refuse to go. So I put it this way. If you are staying, you must be ready to comply with whatever. Whether you are going to work under your junior or whatever, that's a different ballgame. Because the first question I asked them that day, I said, did they dangle carrot? They said they dangled carrot. but they thought, well, the guy said, I thought I still have 9 years to go. Why do I need to retire early and what have you? So now his eyes is seeing what he feels the eye should not see. So that's the issue with with the NMPC arrangement. So it's important that we understand this. They have looked at it that it's going to be a problem in the future and they nip it in the bud. So that's the issue there. So they brought in new people, younger people who are coming to now supervise older people. So these are issues in HR, which HR must give, must learn to manage one way or the other. Now, develop culture leading the talent management strategy. Culture must be in place to support the talent management strategy. Now, talent development, 5-step flow. Number one is that we have to identify skills gap, run a competency versus performance audit for the staff. Then based on that, set developmental goals. How do you want them, goals for their development, which must be smart, that is specific, must be measurable, must be achievable, must be realistic, and must be time bound. Then of course, choose learning methods. How do you want them to learn? Blend micro-learning, stretch projects. Sometimes we put people on projects. We do job rotation to help them grow. We do mentorship and formal courses to match the goals. Then, of course, we provide ongoing feedback, monthly check-ins, peer reviews, quick pulse surveys to keep progress visible. Oh, are you faring on this thing? Find out from the other colleagues and what have you. How is this person doing well as far as this role is concerned and what have you, and the development itself. Then, of course, you measure and reinforce, track metrics, skill acquisition rate, promotion velocity, and employee net promoter score. Will people still want to be part of it? That's talking about the employee net promoter score. How do people see what is happening within your own organization? So, of course, this is very important. One of the things we need to understand in managing talent, we must celebrate wins and adjust the next plan for the next cycle. Yes, we are trying to develop you. Oh, wow, you have done a great job. Thumbs up for you. Great one. Nice, beautiful. Let's give them, let's help them to even grow better by encouraging them, celebrate wins. No, the way you are going in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, Sky, it will be something else. Well done. Keep it up. Things like that help. Then you name it to the next one. Now, repositioning talent management. We have to create talent management initiatives. What can we do to help them? Maybe stretch assignment, maybe so many bringing initiatives that will help them to grow more and more. Then strengthen employer brand with content marketing. Market what your employer brand, so that people will see that yes, the employer of choice that you are. Then making use of employee referrals is also good. Is good, but whoever is going to refer somebody, you must be sure of the person that is referring before you decide that yes, this is the best person to do that. Then, of course, talent management strategy for the future. Create a new strategy for the future of talent management. Now, this is very important to all of us, and it's part of the most important aspect of this discussion or conversation tonight. Why talents leave? Why talents leave? You may have other things to add. Number one is a lack of empowerment. Of course, one of us mentioned the issue of internal politics. Yes, when the politics is beyond the sea, there is what we call quiet firing, and we also have quiet quitting. Can anybody help us with the two? Quiet quitting, quiet ironing. Yeah, sorry, quiet firing. Anybody? Quiet quitting, quiet firing. Quiet quitting, quiet firing. All right, let me explain. When you hear quiet quitting, sometimes when you see that in HR, when you find out that the environment is not just right for you one way or the other, quietly, the person will just drop, not saying anything, just quickly, just go. That's quiet quitting. No problem, nothing, no issue, and what have you. The person will just leave the system. So that's that talks about quiet quitting. The other part is quiet firing. This is from the body language. From the body language, quiet quitting is quiet firing is from the body language. They don't want to see you again. They will not actually tell you, go, we don't need your services again. Or you just find out from everything that nobody's talking to you. Most of the assignments, most of the things they're asking you to do, they are just reducing them one by one, little by little, and nobody's talking to you. So with that, you know that there is a problem somewhere. So instead of them saying goodbye, somebody said, allow us to do what? Sorry, please, allow us to speak. Okay, allow us to speak. Oh, it's okay. Chukudi, please say what you want to say. Constructive, thank you very much. Constructive dismissal. Chukudi, are you still there? Chukudi, unmute yourself. Oh, sorry. Chukudi. Yes, constructive dismissal. They won't talk, they won't do anything. You will just find out that that's quiet firing. Nobody will tell you we are sacking you or doing whatever. They will just use style, and all right. Thank you very much, Dr. Jero. Thank you so much. At the end of the lecture, all right. So internal politics then, job doesn't fit talent or interest. Yes. When the job doesn't fit what you are asking the person to do. All right. So maybe after okay. So job doesn't fit talent or interest. So that's another thing. You are being given what does not fit what what you really want to do and what have you. Now, then lack of recognition or being devalued. Nobody likes that. Every talent wants to be recognized. Every talent wants to be valued. So we need to understand that. That's very key. Okay, and of course, those who want to speak, you can raise your hand so that you can be unmuted. Dr. Emmanuel, thank you. Then, of course, too, their boss is a jerk. That's another thing. There are bosses that are, we refer to them as jerks. Their own approach is different. So, and of course, that shows that. Okay, Dr. Isiaka Ajibola, please go ahead. Dr. Ajibola is raising his hand. Please unmute him.
All right. Thank you, sir. Dr. Ajibola Ladukun. Thank you. It has been a wonderful session with you for the insights shared and experience. We are opportune to have you here today, and it has been a very good experience since the section of your talk. Just to add the line of real life experience on how people, the HR generalists, the way they used to handle this issue of a constructive dismissal, it used to come in different forms. And
yes.
Yeah. So one of it is that there's a way they can double someone's role. For instance, maybe in a company where there is maybe the title before is just they have an accountant. They can bring someone in and call the person financial accountant.
Yes.
They've doubled the role. So they will now ask you the person that has been an accountant before taking the financial accountant, the new breed leader, they will ask you to be taking him through the system. But on the payroll, the man is even earning higher than you. Though you are not reporting to him, he's not reporting to you either. But he's reporting to someone who is above your own level within the structure, the organogram. So it has really placed him ahead of you, either you know it or not. So they are telling you, you better resign. They are showing you an exit indirectly. So it's a constructive dismissal. They have a lot of strategy to this. That's why we are people manager. There's a way we used to handle people's feelings, emotion. We don't want them to feel bad, but at the same time, a way to tell them you are no more needed in this capacity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So somebody said their boss said, Jack, that is an emperor. Beautiful. That's another trouble. Somebody is an emperor and what have you. Then the organization is going under. That's another thing. Then of course, little or no feedback and coaching. That's another thing. When you don't have little or no feedback and coaching, the job or workplace not as expected. Sometimes it's not as expected. So you have to look at it very well. So that's very important. Then the job or workplace not as expected, and no hope of career growth and lack of trust in the leadership. That's another thing. People that we call, what do you call them? Sometimes the organization, thank you, Sylvester. Sometimes because of the organization, that's the issue. People just run away because, they look at things from the fact that there's an organization here, things are not working the way they should be and what have you. So based on that, people just move on one way or the other. No hope of career growth and lack of trust in the leadership. Remuneration and condition of service. That's another thing. That's a major, people don't run away from jobs. They run away from bad leadership. So when you don't give them the right thing, once you promise them, tell them, okay, this is the remuneration and condition of service. Every 3 years or so, we are going to improve on it. Don't go back and tell them, sorry about it. We cannot improve on it again. They will not like it that way. Then, of course, that's very important. So the condition of service and remuneration is key. Now, talent retention. Talking about talent retention, core levers. Number one, purpose. You must link daily tasks to the company mission. That's very, very important. Then there is need for recognition. Sports awards, think of sport awards, think of peer kudos, public shout-outs, well done, great job, thank God for you. If not for you, we will not be here. Wonderful. We appreciate everything that you are doing. You must always, talk to the talent publicly and let the world know that this talent is talent indeed. Now, compensation and benefits, market aligned pay, health, learning stipend, and what have you. That's also very, very key. Then, of course, to clear career paths, of course, let there be clear career paths for the talent, and of course, stretch projects that will help him. You cannot, once you start developing them and you don't give them opportunities to stretch, then it becomes another issue. And they begin to look at it that they don't trust you again. They begin to see things differently. Are we sure these people are going to deliver as promised? Then the issue of flexibility, remote options, flexible hours, reasonable workloads, and what have you. Then there is need for feedback, quarterly stay interviews and pulse surveys. I must find out from them. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How do you see organization and what have you? These are things that will assist them to also stay. Check their pulse. That's important. Now, the benefits of talent management as we begin to close, so that we can create enough time for questions and answers and contributions. So, benefits of talent management: positioning talented people in an organization. We do the following. Number one, it increases organization's profit margin when you have the right people in the right place. It promotes excellence. It promotes creativity and innovation. It reduces cost of production and increases productivity. It attracts the right fits for the job. Then, of course, encourages quality workforce, then promotes professional development decision. And of course, we must also know that it's one thing to have all of these things in place. Another thing to be the continuity is also very key. You know, how do we move it on after now? John Maxwell said, talent is a gift, but character is a what? Is a choice. Talent is a gift and character is a choice.
For example, how many years now
Sorry, please, who is that? Kindly mute yourself, please. Challenges of talent retention. Number one is salary dissatisfaction. You know, talents will always want the best, so you must always consider the industry. Number one, job opportunities are very, very high. Hence, he knows that there are this thing. Look at the issue of Japa and what have you, that has become another issue. Though we still have Japa now, don't forget that it's also Japa now. People are also, some run away and they still come back when they find out that what they are promised out there, you know, they are not delivering or what have you, or maybe because of the issues out there. Now, recruiting the wrong candidate. Sometimes too, you may bring in somebody, so-called talent, may be a wrong candidate at times, because you know, there are some of them that have their own. The character is not just there. Don't forget what John Maxwell said. He said, "Talent is a gift, but character is a choice." They may not. They may have, you know, and we are talking about knowledge, skills, and attitude. They may have the knowledge, they may have the skills, but they may lack the attitude. So nobody wants to work with somebody, you know, not doing the right thing. Now, somebody said, why do we as a people still find it difficult to accept remote job when an employee feels, let me try to, yes. Sorry, I'm trying to. I still find it difficult to accept remote job when an office it can work. Sorry. All right, a lot of people. Let me put it this way: a lot of people and most organizations are not accepting it because they believe that when they cannot monitor what you are doing, then the lack of knowledge, you know, at times too, some of the organizations don't even have the right knowledge in place to be able to manage some of these things. So let's also look at it from that angle. It's not everybody that understands that remote job, people still work remotely and what have you. Like Lagos State was last year or so, since during the COVID, most of their staff were still working from home until last year. Yes, until last year, since COVID days. So but some organizations feel that talking about remote job, that you know, they cannot monitor you per se. And of course, you know, some people, because they also believe that people do 2, 3, 4 jobs and all that. So that's for another time. All right. Recruiting the wrong candidate, yes, it's possible. No job rotation. The job becomes monotonous, so no job rotation. Unrealistic expectations of employees, when employees expect too much from them or too little, whichever one. Then unfavorable work environment, when the environment is not right. The environment is very, very key to a talent. Then changing workforce and technology. If you are not moving with changing times, don't forget we talk about Gen Zs and what have you today. To me, they are the best to work with. It's just because for us to understand them and know that they are tech savvy, that's what they want to do. You are talking to them, you are trying to put something, they are pressing their phones and what have you. That's the way they know how to do it and all of that. So anyhow, we must look for ways to also incorporate them into the system. Yeah, somebody said most employees abuse remote work. That's true. There are many transient and all of that. If you know, you cannot, it becomes difficult. It becomes very difficult. And all. Thank you so much. It becomes very difficult. Thank you. So solutions to challenges of talent retention. Number one is pay competitive salary and benefits. Try to see that, look at the industry, then try to pay, what they do and even do a little bit better, most likely. Then create competitive job opportunities, because to the talent, job opportunity is very, very key. Then recruit right candidates. That's very, very key. Who are fit for the job and who have the knowledge, the skills, and the attitude. Most people have the knowledge and the skills, they lack the attitude for such jobs. So work on that. Then encourage job rotation. Let them, once you train them, put them to be able to do some, move from here, move from there. They also grow through that. That's part of the development we're talking about. Then ensure employee expectations. So when you have surveys and when you talk to them, you ask 1 or 2 questions, they will be able to tell you what can be, what they need and what have you, how they are faring and all that. Of course, you have to, as HR, you have to work towards that and see whatever can be done to make them better. Then create conducive work environment. The environment must be right for the talent. The environment must be right. Very, very important. Yeah, somebody said remote work isn't backed by law. True. There must be a policy in place that addresses that within the organization. Thank you so much. Create conducive work environment, then factor the generation gap. Yes, we are having generation gaps now. So you have to factor that into the retention process. We have generation X, Y, Z, and what have you. So try to see what you can do to factor them into the retention process and deploy appropriate technology. Don't forget, theirs is about technology. Then, of course, don't forget, after the Gen Zs, we are still expecting the generation Alpha. Those ones will be driven by robotics. Let's hope so. Let's start planning ahead. Now, the biggest talent management challenges, which is just for emphasis, higher total compensation demands. Yes. Tightening talent market, unappealing company culture. These are, challenges, biggest talent management challenges. The company culture does not support the talent management program. Increased employee turnover. People are just leaving. So the leadership is not in place. It takes good leadership to be able to address some of these things. So it's also very, very important. Now, having said all of this, what is the way forward for talent management? So you have to relate the recruitment policy with organizational needs. So that's important. You have to create opportunities for employees' growth. Employees must grow. You must create opportunities for them to grow. You must create opportunities for them to explore. Then there is also the need for employee counseling. Whatever you want to do part-time, please, I think it is very, very important, very, very important that, you have to create time for counseling the employee, counseling the talent, to be able to know that, get their, feel their pulse and know whether they are in tune with what you desire, what you look forward to. Then hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So talent must work hard. That's the meaning here. Talent must work hard so that hard work doesn't beat talent. Thank you. Then finally, to conclude, by saying winning the talent means, or winning the talent means turning every hire into a long-term advocate by sourcing the right fit, onboarding with purpose, and nurturing growth through continuous development and recognition. So when you close the loop from acquisition to retention, you boost productivity, innovation, and brand equity. What I'm saying here is take one actionable step after this class. What do you need to do? Audit your talent life cycle. Pilot a focused onboarding or development initiative and measure the impact. In the past 1 hour and 29 minutes, I have tried to look at talent, how do we manage talent, and of course, how do we retain them for the good of the organization. Having said that, I say that the future of the organization hinges on how well you steward its people. Thank you very much. So, do we have questions? Do we have questions now?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
All right, good evening.
There's an issue I just want to raise. Because like when we talk of talents, recruiting talent, and training them and keeping and sustaining them. Because like from my experience, it's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
Let me bring it this way. There is no permanent, okay, let me put it this way. What we know is a current champion, not a former champion. Because someone that was recruited as a talent must keep on upgrading themselves. I keep telling people, whenever you walk in, you need to keep improving yourself. Even when the organization does not improve you, improve yourself. So that you keep adding value. It is the value you add that keeps determining your relevance. Some people believe at coming in, I am a champion of yesterday, and that is all. Before you know it, the trend is moving. And the more you keep improving yourself, that's what gives you a better bargaining chip. And that's what makes you indispensable. Like when you were making a comment about quietly firing and retiring. You see, there are some companies just keep you there redundant because of your past contribution. They just don't want to tell you outright to go. But you see the handwriting, you're no longer adding value. They're technically telling you, add value to yourself. If you can't add value to yourself, ease out yourself. So let us learn to keep improving ourselves. You see, many of the knowledge we acquired in our undergraduate days, if you look at it 5-6 years ago, is obsolete.
True.
But if you keep holding to that one and you were employed with that one, in the next few years, you become redundant. So to be a talent, you must keep improving yourself. Sometimes, even if your education does not send you for training, go for online training.
Very good.
And when you bring it on board, it gives you a better bargaining power when you're negotiating remunerations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that contribution. That's a nice one. Yes, Kelvin said when a policy enacted in an organization to improve the productivity of the organization, but employees are still not, doing the right thing or whatever. Well, all I will say is then there's a policy in place for the improvement of productivity, then you must also put measures in place for define what you mean by productivity improvement. then of course put measures in place to know who is doing it and who is not doing it. It's HR's work to ensure that improvement in productivity. So it's when the policy is already enacted and the organization has done its own part, enforcing it and what have you is the work of HR to ensure that each employee. So you define what you mean by improvement in the productivity, you know, by how many percent and what have you. So you work with individuals to be able to achieve that. That's how it is done, Kelvin. Thank you so much. All right.
I have a question.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, there's one of our staff that has partial stroke.
Okay.
And that person has not been able to contribute much to the productivity of the organization.
Mm.
So I'm thinking of recommending an early retirement for him because he has spent about 15 years in the organization.
All right.
So
thank you, sir. What does the labor law say about it? Find out all those things. And what's your own handbook? What do you have in your handbook for such people? Because sometimes too, you don't start what you cannot permit me to use, what you cannot protect. Conclude. Thank you so much. You have to be extremely careful. Once you start litigation issue, people will say, look at what you do for this person. So check very well. What does it say? What does it say and all of that? You can cancel the person. Come with the way this thing is for your own health and for your good. Why don't you, you can cancel him to being the one to say, I am leaving. I hope you understand, sir. Instead of you to be the one to say, yes, you are fired or whatever. So check very well to avoid litigation. Then also look at your role as a counselor, because HR people are also counselors. So look at it. The other person about continuous and never-ending improvement. This is very, very key, please. We need to improve ourselves. Don't wait for the organization to do the improvement for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ladokun. There's a question on the chat box so that we don't miss.
In a situation where, sorry, I just saw one now. He said it's where the HR have all the qualities in place to move the organization to the next level, but the top management is not ready to assist after by fulfilling their obligation. What should the HR manager do? Well, there is nothing you can do per se, because the only thing you can do is to continuously, see, there is what we call organizational politics. You must also know your politics, anyhow you look at that as HR manager. Don't close your eyes to why is top management saying no. You have everything as HR manager, but you are not connected with your management, so you don't have everything. That's the way I see it. You have to be connected to the top management. Then, of course, where is HR domiciled in your organization? Are you under one other functional head that is, pressing you down or whatever? Sometimes they say, you rub my back, I rub your back. So as HR managers, we must also understand the politics of the organization, and know who can make things to happen so that we can also help ourselves, because you can't function you are not an island, and you cannot make yourself an island. So that's how it works. Thank you very much. Any other question, please?
Yes, there's a question earlier, and I'll just read it out. It's by Oge Kelvin. It says, when a policy is enacted in an organization to improve the productivity of the organization, but employees are still not getting the job done, what can the HR do to change things, sir?
Okay, I have answered that before now. Is it not the one by Kelvin also?
Yes.
Yes, we have taken care of that. So, workmen compensation regarding physically challenged. Yes, somebody said we have to look at workmen compensation regarding the physically challenged employees such as stroke. Okay, that's for the partial stroke person. Thank you very much.
Okay, there's another question by Dr. Owen Obediah. I don't know if you have attended to that. The question goes, what will the management do to ensure a recruited talent stays and not follow higher pay offered by other organizations in search of high talents?
Okay, what you do is to have constant conversation with the talent. Have constant conversation, find out, what then of course try to see where you can meet him, you know, so that he doesn't run away from whatever. Create a working environment where there is what we call a conducive working environment where it's free to flow in terms of discussions and what have you, you know, conversations around whatever. Yes, they are paying this there, but don't worry, we have our plans for you, this and that. So everybody works together, you know, one way or the other, you know, and of course, after doing that, you know, it will be good. But if you don't want, the problem they have as talents is that when you don't talk to them is the issue. You know, they expect you to have constant conversation so that you know, you feel their pulse. They also, you know, feel what is going on and what have you. It's not every time that you can meet all of their needs, but let them know why you cannot actually meet that need. Are you satisfied, sir?
Yeah, I believe the question.
Somebody also asked a question on compensation.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. It says, yes, my question is on employee benefit and compensation. That's what the person says.
Okay.
What do you think will happen if a new employee on the same level is being paid higher than those in the system before?
Yes, it happens. I've had that thing sometimes ago. I got a job and they told me I cannot discuss my salary with any other staff. If I try, they will fire me. Are we together? So they said they will fire me if I discuss my salary. They say nobody discuss with another person. That's what they call it. Yes, it happens once in a while. Like there are some special jobs where they will tell you that you cannot work with the other person. Sorry, you cannot know the other person's salary. They pay some people for specific reasons. They have their reasons. HR have its reasons for doing whatever. Yes, to you, to us, it may not be the best practice for us to have. We are on the same level, we are whatever, or you are any more than me, I'm any more than you. But it has to be well managed by HR so that it doesn't escalate, because it brings bad blood and what have you. But actually, such things happen. That's the truth. Such things happen, and there is always, you know, the need for it, and they will let you also know, you know, why it is like that. So it's beyond the HR, because you need that person by all means. I told you the list of the IT manager for the other organization, where I said, okay, fine. Instead of giving him salary that's more than any other person, why don't we also, you know, do something about it? Okay, in this case, it was exposed. Oh, too bad. It makes other people to feel bad. Sorry, Pauline, he said it was exposed. That's not good. That's not good at all. Right. All right. The other one has been answered. AI cannot do what? AI cannot replace HR equality.
Can AI take the place of HR employee?
No. It takes time.
The person says
not entirely. Yes. Not entirely. So don't be scared. Don't be scared about don't be scared. You can't take everything completely.
All right. Thank you. A very, 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 very big thank you to you, sir, Mr. Ajibola Ladokun. You've been on with us on this lecture for over an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Thank you very much. It has been such a very well-detailed lecture, you know, very well-detailed knowledge shared and insightful lecture. Thank you so much. And we really, really want to appreciate you on behalf of the Institute. We appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. And on this note, we just want to please announce to the participants, please ensure to fill the attendance form on the link. If you're unable to open up the link, please try it on another device. That's very important. So once again, on behalf of the Institute, I'd like to say thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for the lecture tonight. So much has been learned, so much has been taken in, and so much I believe will be put into practice. Thank you so much. So I'd like to appreciate the IT team the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, and the management and staff of the Institute of Cihrm, and of course the National Project Coordinator in the person of Mrs. Tessie Christopher Ikache. Thank you all so very much. It's been the last 2 days has been so much of knowledge shared. The last 2 days of the professional development workshop, so much has been learned, so much has been taken in. Thank you so much. And of course, on today's topic, which is winning with talents from acquisition to retention, a lot we have taken in. Thank you all very, very much to my honorable participants, HR practitioners. I say thank you so much for coming on board. And on behalf of the Institute at CIHRM, I am Olayemi Thomas, the moderator for this evening's lecture. It's a great privilege and opportunity, which I don't take for granted. Thank you all so very, very much. And on this note, would like to say compliments of the season as the year runs to an end. Please let's stay safe. Let's be security conscious, and let's keep running with the goal in HR. Thank you all so very much. And I'd like to say a very, very good night to us all. Thank you. Please let's not forget to ensure to fill the attendance register, the attendance form. If you're unable to open the link, kindly try it on another device. And please, if you have further questions, yes, you can please send a mail to the person, to the coordinator, and I'm sure the coordinator will get the questions across to Mr. Jibola Miladokun for, to attend to. Thank you all so very much. A great privilege being here. Once again, I am Olayemi Thomas, and I say have a